We won, but
the experience is priceless.
the experience of a lifetime. They took us sightseeing,
I figured that.
and we were all the professional teams.
Right.
We were in a convent outside of Rome where the pilgrims go. So, and we were there, and everyone eating at the same time.
Right.
You know, every team had their own table, and the coaches. So the kids met. They were talking and with the other players from Udinese, from Barcelona, from Benfica, Inter, Juventus. So they became friends. So we would be on the bus at the same time. And then twice they took us to sightseeing. It was a great experience. I mean, everyone really enjoyed to travel overseas.
How was the weather there? The weather was
great. It was the middle of June.
It was good. Oh, okay, so you
we took 14 players, and we were 3 coaches.
Okay.
And a couple of parents came, but they were not allowed to be with the team. They would just come and watch the games, and then we would go back on the bus, go back to the to our hotel. And the kids had a great time, and they still have pictures. And
they'll remember for a lifetime.
Yes, they remember for a lifetime. These are the experiences. Plus, they teach them responsibility. It teaches them the opportunity to be on their own without their parents, to do things on their own, and to be
U13, right? 12
well, this year we were U12s, right? Now we are officially a U13 U13 team. Now next month we're going to play at Pratt. Brooklyn Italians, we organized our own indoor tournament, which is the New York City Indoor Classic. And then in May, we usually go to a tournament. This year, we're thinking of going to Bethesda.
Where's that?
In Maryland.
In Maryland.
To travel there. We stay there for the weekend. 2 years ago, we went to FC Delco in Pennsylvania. So we do, we do travel. And
they keep you busy, that's for sure, all year round, huh? All year round, you're busy.
Yes.
Where's the indoor tournament going to be?
Pratt Institute, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We have over 120 teams.
What type of a gym? What is that? Is it an indoor?
It's a huge indoor gym, and we split the gym in 3. And yes, it could be used for many things. And each field is 30 by 50.
Okay, so that's a wood floor, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's a wood floor.
Yes.
What happened to those artificial turf fields? They don't exist anymore. Like
they do, like Chelsea Piers.
Like the Chelsea ones.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the best places.
I believe there's one in Staten Island on Victory Boulevard, I believe.
Yeah, Frank, I haven't been there. I don't know. You familiar with that?
On 440, I believe.
Yes. I believe it's the Victory Sports Arena.
Yes.
They got the boards around. I haven't been there. They got the boards that go around.
Not in Staten Island. In Brooklyn.
In Manhattan.
In Manhattan they do. Chelsea does. It's like a hockey.
Yeah, right. Like a hockey rink.
We were actually supposed to start renting space out to practice there.
Yeah.
But the turf fields were full.
They were full.
So we wound up just with
But they're very expensive, John. In the winter time, they ask.
Falling down on that wood floor. I mean,
plus I think Aviator has also a little field, which is turf, and you can rent it and play 4v4, I guess.
I mean, turf is not. It's still bad to play on turf, but it's better than the wood floor for me, my opinion. I mean, you know how wood, the wood floor is not to fall down on that on your knees.
That's another problem that we have when the players are developing, when they're going through puberty. Knee pains.
The knees, forget it. It's crazy. My knees are shot from playing.
Half of my team takes Motrin before the game.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, it's natural. My son went through it, so I already know, and I tell the parents it's.
All right, Ludovico, I know you got what are you doing now? What's going on business-wise? You got
business-wise, I own a soccer specialty store in Brooklyn on Fort Hamilton Parkway retail, and I also sell to the clubs, and I've been doing that for the past 7 years.
So you're making shirts for clubs, right?
Yes,
teams,
yes,
right?
uniforms for colleges, high schools, clubs, and so I'm basically involved in soccer 24 hours a day. I go to work with my sweatsuit.
Really? That's nice.
And then I coach with the Brooklyn Italians. Very convenient for me. I close the store 6:15, 6:30. In 10 minutes, I'm at practice.
Right.
I finish practice, 10 minutes, I'm home.
It's better than you. Nobody. You got, wait, you said you're on Fort Hamilton?
And 71st Street. Between 71st and 72nd. Across the street from the diner.
Pizzeria on the corner, no?
Yes, Maria. Yes.
And what about next door? There was a deli there? Delicatessen was used to be there?
Yes.
Right? Is he still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the delicatessen.
So you're across the street from them?
Yes. Right across the street from the diner.
Right across the street.
My 3 sons. Okay. So I've been there for 7 years plus. I coach, and the Brooklyn Italians Club is on 18th Avenue and 58th Street.
58th and 18th.
So basically everything is within either we practice at Erasmus, we practice at Cavallaro in the winter, and we also have the Verrazano, the new turf field. One of those fields is ours.
Yes.
I mean, ours.
I haven't been there in a long
time. But we have the permit to use it in the spring and the fall. Okay. And then we also rent John Dewey, outdoor and indoor.
Right, that's on under the track
Bay
there.
50 Bay 50 and
Stillwell, right, okay. Did they get hit with the storm over there?
It was closed, I believe, for a couple of weeks. So the small-sided teams, the younger teams, they practice at John Dewey in the winter. I mean, in the fall and the spring, and the older teams, U12 and up, we go to Erasmus.
Okay. Well, you know what? Speaking of that storm, Staten Island Soccer League is in jeopardy this spring here.
Miller Field.
Yeah, Miller Field is in bad shape right now. So I think we're gonna have to come over to Brooklyn, maybe use some of your fields over there. You know? I mean, we need a place to play. Someone's got to step up here and fix that field or do something. I mean, I don't know really the status. I wish someone from the league would come on and explain exactly what's going on. Maybe next month we'll get somebody on.
Because that's government property.
Millfield, the government owns that. But I was told just a couple of days ago that right now there is no season coming up for the spring. So that's got to really be bad for the kids, you know.
Which is unfortunate because, like you were saying before, soccer is not exactly the most popular sport.
It's definitely not.
So by shutting it down for a whole season,
no one cares as it is.
Really going to be good.
We love the game. We love the game. But I'm saying in general, no one cares about the game. And if you shut it down,
but believe it or not, soccer is the most played sport at a youth level in the country.
I think it's a world game anyway. It's a world game.
But at a youth level,
at a youth level in the country,
it's the most played sports around the country. The number one sport.
I wish New Yorkers would know that. You know.
You know what I think part of it is too. You could start them the youngest with soccer, because you don't have. It's not like basketball where you got to shoot it in the hoop. You just throw the ball on the ground
and you let them kick.
Able to
let them go.
That's I think the first sport that they could join. You can't put your kid in Little League at 3 years old.
No. Plus run after the ball, chase the ball, and you have 13, 14 kids chasing one ball.
I think that happens a lot. I think, they start them off young, but we lose a lot of kids, I think, as they get older. I think they drop off. Pressure, other kids making fun of the game. Listen, I was in school, and a lot of kids...
Other interests?
They would tell me it was a faggy sport, soccer.
Then boyfriends, girlfriends.
Yeah. You play soccer. That's for sissies. Or I won't say the words, but that's what I heard. You know what? I don't care what they said. I still played the game, no matter what. So.
Well, back when I was younger, it was basically an ethnic sport, played mostly by European and South American and immigrants. But now it became also an American sport. But it's a sport that will never be part of, it will never enter the culture of the United States. It will never surpass the basketball and the baseball and the football and the hockey.
No, I'm not going to say it's going to surpass them, but let's just hope we could raise the level a little bit, just a little bit more. Maybe we won't see it in our lifetime, but let's help raise it a little. No?
Right? That's where the money is. The money is in other sports, in football, in baseball, and that's where the money is.
I think just like
sponsors, the big sponsors.
I think they're trying again with the women's league, right? They were trying. This is the third time with the women's league that's starting up. But I think now they're backed up by the U.S. national team. I think U.S. Soccer is backing them up. So hopefully, Frank, what do you got there? Let's read off a couple names from the U.S. women's team. Where are they going?
Well, so far from...
I know New York has a team, right?
The allocation draft, New York...
just read off the name of the clubs and a couple of the U.S. players that we have.
Okay, the Boston Breakers selected Sydney Leroux.
Sydney Leroux, she's up and coming. Good player. She was on the bench last year.
And Heather O'Reilly. The Chicago Red Stars have Shannon Box. Kansas City.
She's a veteran player, Shannon Box, older player. Okay.
Took Warren Chaney. Alex Morgan went to the Portland Thorns.
Alex Morgan, that's a star player.
Yeah,
she's one of the top players, right? She scored the goal, I think, against Canada.
Yes.
Okay.
We have Amy Rodriguez going to the Seattle Reign.
So player.
Christy Rampone to the Sky Blue.
That's the veteran.
to the Washington Spirit, Lori Lindsay.
Okay.
And to the Western New York Flash, Carly Lloyd and Abby Wambach.
And I think they got the two best players. I mean, I think New York really got the best of the players from the U.S. team.
I think so too. You know,
Hope Solo, she's in Seattle, I think, right? She's from Seattle. I wonder how that worked out. She should be on there.
Yes, she is.
That's good. She's from Seattle.
Yeah.
I love how that worked out.
Yeah,
Perfect for her, huh?
It says in the article that.
Well, they're trying to bring the local heroes for the local crowds. Of course.
There was some preference given to the players and the clubs as far as who they took.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
There was some preference. Like you said before, they're going to fill out the rosters
with the college players. And there's a lot of good college players out there.
So it should be definitely interesting.
I'm really for the women's league. I really like watching them play. Maybe because I coach the girl. I mean, they're better than the MLS. What do you think about the MLS? I mean, we could sit here.
The MLS has made tremendous progress over the past couple of years. The level of soccer coaching has been tremendous, and you do see some MLS games that are familiar with the European style or the South American style. So they have made tremendous progress. So now it's basically NBC took over certain games, ESPN took over certain games.
Right.
So basically you're trying to build it a little bit
television
at a time, but you're still missing the big names. You're still missing the big sponsors. So you're calling a name from Europe or South America, but they're already basically half retired. They're old, and
they're coming here for the last leg, the last show.
Right, and
so to speak.
Right, and look at New York. New York hasn't been able in so many years to win a championship, to have a winning team, because I believe it's lack of balance and lack of chemistry.
I mean, it takes a lot to get a championship team together. We both know that. Everything has to work. You have to have the players, the management, right?
Right.
Actually, from the owner. I think it starts from the owner. The owner has to have the passion, and it's got to be the GM, the coach, and then the players. But they've had good teams in the past, right? They won the finals a couple years ago, right?
Yes, they lost the.
They lost to Houston, I think. I'm not sure. Was it Houston?
They lost the final a couple of years ago. Tomorrow, in Indianapolis at the coaches convention, they will have the MLS draft.
Right.
I believe 22 or 25 college players going to be eligible to be drafted by New York. By the MLS teams, and New York. They don't know whether they want to pass the draft or they see anyone interesting that they want to draft. Right. They don't know that yet. They haven't made that. But they don't have a head coach yet. So if you don't have a head coach after 2 months and you don't know where you're going and what you're trying to do and to put forward a game plan.
See, I'm sorry. That's wrong. I mean, all right, so they have who's going to make the picks if they do? The GM?
The interim coach. I guess they have an interim coach, but I guess they want to pass it all together.
All right.
And today, Pep Guardiola signed for Bayern Munich as the new head coach, and he was in New York for 1 year. We saw him 2 weeks ago at Rockland County. His son, 10-year-old, he plays for the Manhattan Soccer Club.
Right.
He has a 10-year-old son, and he just signed today for Bayern Munich. So as of next year, as of July, he will be the new coach 6 months in advance, because the current coach of Bayern Munich is retiring at the end of the year in June. So they already have a coach in place, and I think Bayern Munich is the club of the future because they have a great organization, just like you said 5 minutes ago, from the president to the vice president to the general manager, the coaching staff, the youth coaches. It's really a great organization, and I really tip my hat off to German soccer, that in the past 6-7 years, it was a game plan put forward by Jürgen Klinsmann, the U.S. coach, about the youth level. And look at the German teams; they're doing really well in the Champions League, and they're powerhouses. Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich. In the past 6-7 years, they've really done very well because there was a game plan. And will Klinsmann be successful with soccer in the United States as far as youth?
It's going to take time.
Youth level, it will take a lot of time, and the new 90% of the under 17 residency program in Florida is made up of players from the youth system of MLS clubs. So basically, all the other clubs that are non-MLS, the academy teams, they're being overlooked. So basically, they're choosing from the MLS clubs.
Right. Well, it's going to be a process with the U.S. team, with Klinsmann, right? I think it's going to take time. This U.S. team now, let's just focus on the team right now. How far can they go? Will they make it? Will they clinch?
Well, they will make it. They will make it to the.
They got a tough group now, right? I think 2 teams go from this group.
3, I believe.
3.
3 go from the CONCACAF.
Okay.
3 teams go, and basically, is how many players can the United States place in European clubs? That, to my understanding, will be the key. Because yes, you do have certain players that are part of the American roster that play for the MLS, but the MLS is not at the level of the EPL or the Bundesliga, or the Italian Serie A or the French league.
Bradley's the first guy that comes to mind. He plays in Rome, right?
Yes.
And there's the other guy. What's his name? Dempsey?
Yes.
Where does he play?
He plays in England.
He's in England. And who else? That's it?
Well, you have a lot of players that play in, some play in England, some play in Bundesliga, some play in Spain.
Howard's in the Premier League too.
So basically, those players that play overseas, they're able to bring back that experience. So now, when a Klinsmann gets a Bradley from Roma, he basically has to speak to Bradley for only a few minutes. This is what I want from you, A, B, and C, and he will pick it up right away because he has that European experience.
The guys we just mentioned are on their career is down, right?
Correct. So
fair to say. So we need the young ones that we have going there now.
Yes, to play in Europe and to play at a competitive level. Hopefully, play for good European clubs, Champions League.
Champions League, yeah.
So they're able to compete. Hopefully, they will start. Right. And then you take that experience back to the United States, and hopefully, the coach can build that chemistry. Because remember, being a national team coach, you have you spend very little time. You're more of a communicator and a player finder than you really are a coach, because you're not able to work 7 days a week with those players.
No, you can't. That's very tough,
It is very tough. So basically, you have to try to create the best salad possible with the 3-4 days that you have available certain parts of the year. So and then you have a month before the World Cup.
You got to tip your hat really to these coaches that win the World Cup, right? The past coaches, right?
Well, the coaches that win the World Cup is lucky. They basically you have to have a lot of luck. And I'll explain. And I explain why England cannot have a winning team in European soccer and the World Cup, because those players, by the time they get to June, they are squeezed like a lemon. They have played 100, 110 games a year. Now June comes around, and the coach gets them to play in the European Cup and the World Cup. What can these players give you?
Well, that goes for Spain, Italy, the same thing. Those players play well. Spain is more back to back.
So now, which coach from the elite national teams, which coach is going to get the players that are in shape? And not hurt.
And get the most out of
players. Now,
Now,
why did Italy do so well in the European Cup last year? Because most of the players came from Juventus. And Juventus did not play the Champions League. So you had the Marchisio and the Buffon. They only played 40 games a year.
Well, what about youth? I think they were a little younger also. That had something to do with it a little bit also, because they were younger players.
Well, mostly I think it's because they were not squeezed. They were in shape. Most of them were 7, 8, 9 players were from the Juventus roster. And you know that Juventus did not qualify for any European league, so they were not playing in Champions League. So they were only playing in Serie A. Once a week on Sunday. So basically,
so they were rested more.
Yes, they were rested more.
Yeah, that's a factor. That's definitely a.
That's a big factor when it comes to the European Cup and the World Cup.
Right.
Then you have the players in Spain that they basically play 2 games a year. You have You have basically Real Madrid and Barcelona, and the rest.
They don't play much at all.
They don't play much at all.
Speaking of City, since we have you here, I know you follow that league, right? You follow
yes,
closely.
Mostly I follow Napoli.
Napoli. Well, Napoli. Speaking of Napoli, you know, I'm looking at the standings. They're in third place, so you're feeling good about this season right here, huh? So
yes, I'm feeling, well, they took 2 points away from us for game fixing something that happened 3 years ago. Yeah. So basically, Cannavaro and Grava, they got suspended for 6 months. Right. And the team got penalized for...
You're only 5 points behind Juventus. So you're
yes,
feeling good.
And we lost a couple of points along the way, but we're doing really well.
I think I'm Serie A D right now.
I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm not going to be embarrassed.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Yes. You're on solo.
Yes, hi, how are you? My name is Andre. I'm also a soccer fan. And I know Lou for quite some time, and we're watching the show right now, and we just want to give credit to him. You know, he seems like he knows a lot about what he's talking about, and you know, we're very impressed with the way he's been acting and giving an interview. And you know, it's just a pleasure to watch the show.
Very good.
So we wish you lots of luck in your coaching career, and all the best.
Thank you so much. I hope you. As a soccer fan, I hope you received some information on how youth soccer works in the city and in this country, and how soccer is part of the American culture, and hopefully it will become even more as the years go on.
Well, hopefully in some time I'll be able to give my daughter, you know, the older one and the younger one, for you to coach.
Right. Well, make sure she plays for Richmond.
Richmond Town.
John will be our coach.
Ludovico's is handling the boys team.
I handle the boys side. John handles the girls side.
Guys, thank you very much for the show.
All right, thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. So we were talking about Napoli. They were only 5 points behind. So I mean, I haven't really watched many games, but looks like they're doing well.
Yeah, Lazio is also doing. Lazio is also doing really well. Well, basically, right now, Italian soccer is where German soccer was before 6 years ago. Going back to what we spoke a couple of years ago, German soccer was not even considered.
Right.
Was not even on the map.
Right.
Basically, before 6 years ago. So now Italy needs to rebuild.
Rebuilding.
And I think this is the perfect opportunity for the next 3, 4, 5 years to give the youth Italian players the opportunity to play,
right, to play.
And not get the regular average player from overseas.
Right.
So start the young players.
Let them play. Yeah,
like Roma has Destro and Fiorenzi, Napoli has Insigne, all these under 21 players. I sincerely hope that they will find space in the starting lineup, and Italy, hopefully by building their youth system and giving the young players an opportunity to develop and not focus on winning right away, because let's face it, Inter and Milan, right now the only team that has a legitimate chance of winning something outside of Italy is Juventus. Yes. Inter and Milan, they're rebuilding.
Right.
Milan doesn't have a dime.
No, yeah, I see them. Right.
And Inter is also in a rebuilding phase. So basically, the only team that has a legitimate chance is Juventus.
Well,
Fiorentina has a great coach, Montella, and Lazio, Napoli, and hopefully these coaches will give the opportunity to the players to develop, and hopefully 5, 6 years from now, Italian soccer will become at the same level as the European.
You know, with the big clubs, it's all about winning, right? Those clubs have to win, so they have to put product on the field.
Correct.
Right.
Well, like the best player right now in Serie A is Cavani, the only player that's basically Ibrahimovic left. Other players also
now, why would
left.
He leave? Why would
money,
right?
Italy, Milan had to balance their budget, and they were in red, so they had to balance their.
What's the update on Rossi?
Rossi signed a 3-year deal with Fiorentina.
So he is with Fiorentina.
Yes, his team in Spain went to the second division. And he should start training in April, so I think he'll be ready by the end of the season. He was injured. He's been injured for over a year.
Right.
Now he signed a, I think Fiorentina got him for 10 million euros. So I don't know if Fiorentina is trying to sell their best players, which is Jovetic.
Right.
He's the best player that they have, and I believe he has a market in the EPL. And they're
hanging around there, Fiorentina. As far as the standings go, they're not, you know.
Well, they lost today the quarterfinal at home to Roma in Coppa Italia. They lost 1-0 in overtime. But if you have an opportunity to watch Fiorentina, watch them play. They really play the best soccer. I have to admit, the EPL is the most watched league, but I strongly believe tactically the Italian coaches are the best in the world.
Sure. Right, skill-wise. So Rossi back on the national team anytime soon?
Prandelli will give him a. Prandelli will definitely give him a chance.
Right.
He will definitely call him again. He deserves a chance. He always did really well, and Prandelli believes in giving.
Last thing with Rossi, bad decision going to Italy or good?
Good decision.
Good decision, right? Because
good decision because he's going to a club where he will not be pressured to win.
To win, right?
So it's a club. I think it's a perfect setting. It's a great city to live. Great fans, great coach, believes in you. Prandelli believes in him, and to my understanding, I think him going to Fiorentina. I think Prandelli, the Italian national team coach, I think he had something to do with it in placing him with the right coach and the right city and the right atmosphere for him.
So he'll be back. We'll look to see him soon.
Yes, he'll definitely give him a chance probably in September.
Before we go, we got to mention the Italian squad. How they looking as far as rebuilding for the World Cup? We know they're gonna. Yes. We know they're in.
Prandelli has an interesting group. Let's hope they will continue to grow.
Right.
Let's hope certain players will find the necessary space to play in Serie A, like the Insigne, the Destro, the Fiorenzi, the young ones. They will play in Serie A and get the experience to play. And we all pray on a daily basis that someone named Mario Balotelli will mature very quickly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very quickly.
All right, guys. The music says that the show was just about over. Thank you for coming on, Ludovico.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Frankie, thank you again.
Always a pleasure.
Gentlemen,
Ludovico,
good luck.
anytime.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome on the show anytime you want to come on.
Anytime you're,
right? You can be part of the show.
You know how to find me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you next month.
Yes, I'm the best. I'm the best in all the world. I'm the strongest of them all. I'm football crazy. I'm football crazy. I'm football crazy. Sunday night, match is through. Now got more time for you. Tuesday dawn, another day. Will I make it to Sunday? Alright.